3, 2, 1.
Nope.
Yes. Hey. Yes, we're good. Hey, y'all. Hey, what's up, Circle Family? It is Talk to Tingz Thursdays, episode number 14.
Episode 14.
We are here. We are live.
Yes.
So go ahead and say hey if you're watching now.
Who's here with us?
Starting from you.
Oh, from me, sorry.
Do we have any week 1 to 14ers? Nikki, there.
Shout out to Sandra McGee, who's always, hyping up the show before she looks so forward to it. Shout out to you, Sandra McGee.
Cassandra, big up this
Hey. Alicia. Yes,
Alicia,
Mama.
yes, mama.
All right.
Moose.
There.
Yeah, man. Listen. J-Lock, you there? Welcome back to the Circle King. I look forward to seeing you around. And yes, I was petty and I shut your comments off. They'll be back on in an hour and a half.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming.
So what's up, guys? How are you doing? What's up, Joanne? And shout out to John. Everybody loves Chris. Hey, Gail. So tonight, we'll do real intros for the new people.
Sure.
So starting on our...
With me. Hi, guys. I'm Orla, one of the admins.
Douglas Moore.
And TK in the house.
Lisa.
Welcome. If this is your first time watching, we do this every week at 9:30 Circle Time. So tonight, on the agenda, we're talking part 2 or maybe 3 of the relationships, and what we're talking about first is friends with benefits or dating. What's going on in 2017?
We're going to start with Libya.
Are we starting with them tonight?
We'll start with Libya.
Okay. No worries.
Because we want to do the relationship talk some justice.
True.
I'm sorry. That was me. It was the way that I worded it.
It's okay. No worries. So we're starting with Libya. What's your take on what's going on in Libya right now, guys? There's a lot going on.
Man, it's disgusting.
It's heartbreaking.
So there's a few members that have some petitions that they're circulating. I don't know if you've had a chance to sign it. I don't know if you've seen it. But I know that Jimmy Say So, big up yourself if you're here, Jimmy. Jimmy Say So has one that's going. I know that Cassandra's had one that she's tagged a lot of people in. Cassandra, big up yourself. Thank both of you for taking the leadership on initiating something that the Circle can contribute to.
Absolutely. So there's a lot going on now with Libya, and everybody's in the media now, but this has been brewing for some time. And I know, when things start off, you don't really see what it is until it really, really reached all that it is. So just a quick background on what's going on for those of you who don't know, is this started with a peace treaty that was signed in the early 2000s with Muammar Gaddafi. And this was during the George Bush era. And it was supposed to get rid of weapons of mass destruction. And the deal was the U.S. would stay out of their business if they got rid of their weapons of mass destruction. Well, he agreed, he complied. Later on, Hillary Clinton decided he was still a threat, and she went and convinced NATO to go in and have him killed. So, what people are saying is this started a while ago, and he agreed. They ran in anyways, and this is why this is going on right now. So is it about gold? Is it about the dinar? What do you guys think is really this is all about? And if you don't know, maybe just go and do some reading so that you know the links that you're supporting. Make sure the money's going to getting on the ground, right? That's all I kind of have to say on that. What do you guys have to add to that?
So don't forget that if you want to have your comment played so that everybody can hear what you have to say, you don't have to deal with me reading your stuff and misinterpreting. You can send me a voice note. My name's Lisa Thompson on Facebook. Send me a voice note and we'll play your comments.
Yes.
So Moose, I saw you say something that it would have never happened under Gaddafi.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
A lot of people didn't agree with his strategies, but he was good for his own people. He was not good for America. He's not good for other people, but he had his own people. He did what he did in his own country to suit him and his people. He didn't care about no one else. I'm not saying that he was a great person or whatever, but personally, I don't think it would have happened if he was still alive.
Absolutely. Do you think that had anything to do with, do you think that it has anything to, like it's tied to when he was killed?
Yeah, definitely, because then when he passed, when he was there, he ruled everything, right? People had respect for him, they loved him, they hated him, whatever. But when they died, it kind of let them all go chaos. They didn't have someone that, there wasn't rules.
Right.
You know, when you're strict to rules, constant, and then all of a sudden there is none, you don't do whatever you want.
Yeah.
People see money, people see opportunity, and these people are being offered money from outside sources. And I did try to look into it a little bit more to get more information on who's buying these people and all things like that. And there's no one really, they're not saying who it is. Like, people are saying, oh, it's Europeans, and oh, it's people from the Middle East, and there is nothing there. The only thing that I saw was these people were offered, sorry, I have to cough, an opportunity to get into Europe. So these people were following these people thinking, I'm getting into Europe to get a better life, to get ABCDFG, because they're coming from, you know, other parts of Africa, and then they're being stuck here, and then they're going nowhere. Yeah. Like, it's honestly, like, it breaks my heart. It's disgusting.
So it's a bait and switch going on.
Yeah, these people thinking, oh, these people are helping us, and then there's hundreds of people who are promised a new life. And
Is
then,
the UN getting involved at all?
They haven't as of yet, which it's a little disturbing. They really need to do something.
The UN. I haven't had a chance to really look into this, but yeah, I've seen some videos, and actually my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, showed me a disturbing video this morning. I'm like, I don't even want you to watch that. Like, this ruins my day. Like, how could it not yours, right? But she showed a black guy all tied up, and he's being beat, and then they were stabbing him multiple times in the back. Yeah,
that's brutal.
My 13-year-old daughter gets to watch this on Instagram.
That's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
So guys, do your research, and there's a few links in the group where people who are doing petitions, and if you are going to be sending any resources, just verify who you're supporting, make sure the money gets on the ground, and make noise about it. We have social media. Let's use it to get some attention to this issue, and let the powers that be know that we want to see something done about this. We want to see people step in and do something about it. Lisa, you have something to say about it? So we are moving on. Any comments?
No voice notes yet.
Do me a favor. I got to turn this on. Sorry, y'all. Just want to get the Bluetooth ready for when. Send in your comments. Send them in.
John Manicaro said, excuse me if I butchered that, Americans always make it seem like they're saving people, yet they ruin their countries.
Yes.
Marcia said that they murdered him.
Of course they did.
Rayon says you can't blame Obama, because Nikki said she blames Obama. Rayon says you can't blame Obama. This was a Senate move. Obama had no power regarding this, and they used him as a scapegoat. That's true, because the president's a puppet. True. Any president is a puppet.
True.
If anybody thinks the president has power, you're misinformed.
Big time.
Straight.
He's a face.
Oh, Tamika Jarrett, big up yourself. She said the same thing. I even see her comment until just now. She said you can't blame a puppet. Obama has no power. See that?
True.
Joe Hoskins says France is the one who bombed the wall, and Reagan says, yes, follow the money.
Yeah, totally. So what I'm wondering, though, before we tie off is, so were these organizations, did it sprout up as a result? Was it just one of those secondary things as a result of him being killed? Because why did it take so long for this to start, gaining attention? Or, what are these people really being sold for? And was that a part of all of that? Like, I know the dinar was a huge, hello. It destroyed the franc. When you see a currency tear down a strong European currency, it's like, okay, well, obviously it was gold. They wanted the gold. He had all the gold enough to back up his money. But then what more could they really want from these people? Like, what are they really being sold off to do?
I don't.
Are there organs? Are their organs being sold off on the black market? Are they gonna walk out their soul case and then go sell their organs? Like, what is it?
I don't. From what I saw, one video, it was really disturbing. Like they had these couple of really big guys, like they've been 6 foot, at least 250 pounds, like tough, muscular guys, and they were just standing there. Like to me, I thought first of all, like you can look and be like, oh, I was like, why are they standing so calm? Why are they like? To me, you could tell they were frightened because why is two guys standing like that in front of all these people, being auctioned off? Like, would you not fight back? Would you not?
Yeah,
and to me, it was a little disturbing to see that these guys had no fight in them at that point. I don't know what they had been through prior, or if they'd been fighting for months beforehand. You don't know, but I don't know. They were saying that it was for farm work. That's what I saw in the video. I actually think someone posted it on the circle. Maybe that's where I saw it. But I personally don't believe they're being sold for farm work, because what else would CNN send undercovers in there to have a look at it, or
crazy? Do
We have a voice note.
Thank you for your voice notes, guys. Do keep them coming. Your voice note is coming up. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what I'm...
Who's?
This is from, sorry. First I sent you Rayon.
Rayon? Okay. This is Rayon.
These individuals are brought up from the Sahara into Libya, and they're trying to go through Malta into Italy and, get asylum or escape into Europe or whatever, right? So they get duped into thinking that, come, we'll help you. The access point is through Libya, but then they get stuck there. And the reason why the United Nations isn't doing anything, from what I found out, is that these people are taken to do mining in the mineral deposits. It's kind of like a pay for your freedom kind of thing. Work here for X amount of time, and then we'll let you go. But then it turns into, well, why should we let them go? I mean, they don't have a passport. They have no way to escape. So they just keep them there. And it benefits the United States for damn sure, in terms of what's in our iPhones, in terms of helping with the diamond reserves, all that kind of bullshit. So it's sad, but that's what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, that I know a lot of people who are very conscious of the products they consume and where the parts come from. It's kind of hard not to have anything in this.
All these electronics have gold in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to have any devices or, like our TVs. Like, you're gonna have something in them that comes from some sort of unethically mined resources, right? So it's unfortunate. But do you? We have one more. This is from Moose. We'll play this one next. Moose, you're up.
Okay, I'll break it down for you guys. The reason why these people are being sold as slaves and whatnot is that Libya is one of the biggest ports where Africans are trying to escape from Africa to get to Europe. And so therefore, a lot of these people are being sold now from the false guise that they're able to get them transportation across the Mediterranean. So what they do instead is that they pawn them off to one person to the next person, giving them, stating that, yes, you're just going to meet your person that's going to be sold. You're going to meet the person that you're going to have to pay for it. But what happens is that these people now are being forced into slavery because some of them are being extorted for money. It's like a kidnap for ransom situation. And so if some people don't pay, they end up getting killed. As you can see in the videos, they get tortured and all those things.
Wow. It's rough. Rough. So guys, there's a lot going on in the world, and find your causes that you can align with, and there's so much to choose from to support. So
nothing changes if you just sit back and be like, you know what, that's sad. Yeah. Because any minute it could be Brampton or Hamilton or Ajax or anywhere. It could be anywhere that's in a serious crisis. We're a global community. We're all connected.
It's true.
And when you turn a blind eye, you let your fellow human down.
That's true.
So we're gonna move on from the heavy talks. Because we have more heavy talks planned for the end of the show.
I'm not gonna lie, that our conversation kind of my soul a little.
Yeah.
We just wanted to bring the attention to it because I know a few commenters made this, members made this comment, which is with all the shit that's going on in the world right now, how are people so distracted by minute issues?
That's
like, how is this
distraction?
consumed? Yeah, how are people just so consumed with little things that only concern self when there's so much going on? So I think that was why we wanted to touch on it. But we are going to move on and transition into something that we said we were going to do last week. So we're talking about relationships now, and friends with benefits or dating. Miss Lisa?
I want the tea. What's everybody getting into these days? What are we doing? I'm not trying to watch anybody's pum pum or body. I'm not trying to be in your bedroom, but what is your preference? Are you looking for commitment generally? Because remember last week we talked about intentions, being honest with potential suitors about your intentions. So what are your intentions? Do you want to date or do you just kind of want to play the field right now? I know that there's a few people who are enjoying slanging.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging. Slang.
Slang it, yeah.
Hope it's good. Be safe. But what's everybody's take on it? Because I feel like relationships and the norm has shifted.
Big time.
I feel like it's more common now for people to not want to commit and to be okay with, I guess, alternative to what we think are the norms or the standards for dating. So what do you guys think? I don't know. I think it's more common now for people to not want to commit.
I think times have changed. Sorry. I can definitely see that times have changed. I think that people are more comfortable being open about their lifestyle. It used to be frowned upon if you were not a monogamous person. But as more information is coming out about how these lifestyles can be beneficial to different individuals' overall well-being, you know, based on that they don't feel the pressure of being confined into something they just don't feel wired to do. I feel like a lot of people are finding it liberating. A lot of people are just testing the lifestyle out, and they might very well know that they're going back to monogamy when they're done, but they just want to be a hoe, so they can look back on their life on their deathbed and say, yeah, man, I had fun. You know what I mean? And they don't want to dry up their good up years, you know, without having tried it. So that's what I think is happening. I think people are seeing it as, this looks interesting. Let me give it a shot. You know? That's what I think. It could be.
I don't know. I think it definitely has changed. You know, like people, like my niece one time was talking to this guy for like 6 months, but they were talking. It's not her boyfriend. They were talking. And then, yeah, so it's like, okay, so you hang out with him? Yeah, they do all of that. But they were just, and then they were dating. Wow. It's like, I don't know what this means. So like the whole relationship took like a whole year and a half to come out. Then they were a couple and it lasted like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because I don't know if it's expectation or because to me, when you're meeting or you're dating someone and you're getting to know them, that's how it works.
True.
But to her, it was like, no, I'm still talking to people. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old.
That's still how I feel sometimes. I feel like I'm not, like, it's not for me, but I understand why it's appealing. I understand why it's attractive.
Yeah, I can get that too.
Yeah. This friends with benefits, meaning like, you know, you're just not, you don't want to be, you don't want to have a label to the relationship. You just want to be able to have the freedom to come and go. Yeah.
Keep in practice.
Like, you're my fuck buddy. you know that when Wednesday comes at this and this time, don't call me during the week. Don't, you know, you just go for your dick appointment or you go for your pussy appointment and done. You know what I mean? And I think that those friendships can last long because it doesn't get convoluted. It's like, listen, we know what this is. You know, don't get it twisted. And it works for some people.
Really? Drama, she said dick appointment.
But it's true. And it might make them, it might help them with their future relationships though, because
put it on my Google Calendar.
Yeah, dick appointment.
So China, Montana. Sorry, is this Shy China? Sorry, Montana. Said this generation's made monogamy a dying thing with all the side chicks being put on high pedestals. It's true. I hear you. I don't know about high pedestals, but I hear you. Tamika says commitment's a process.
Yeah.
Don't kill me. Jewel says put everything on a relationship and then end up learn something when you're in a relationship. It's not all a waste, right? Like if you feel like it's a waste, then that to me is a bigger problem than the fact that your relationship didn't work. I don't know. I feel like there are some people who change when they get in relationships. You know, the minute a title comes on, all of a sudden, where are you at?
It's true.
You learn
what time you coming back? You know, who's that? Why is this person calling you? Who would you go to lunch with? No. And the minute you get in a relationship, also all of a sudden people change. Some people change. So I think that's why some people may be shying away from it. Some people are, what do you call it? Commitment phobic. They're runners. They like the thrill of the chase. And then after they get the chase, it's like, I don't know if I want to stay in this because I might be able to catch something else that's exciting or different or new or blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Dougie?
You have to just like be happy with what you have. Like, I don't know, man. I'm old school. I believe in commitment and settling down with one person, making that person your world. Like, I can't.
What? Sorry.
I don't know. I can't do that.
You wouldn't be, what is it about it that turns you away from that lifestyle?
I don't know. It's just
particular.
I mean, I'm not innocent. I mean, I've kind of done that lifestyle, tried it out, but it's not the real me, man. Like,
yeah, so you experimented with it.
Yeah, it's but I don't know. I think it's dirty.
It can be these days because, I mean, like I always said, unless you know that your dick appointment, you trust their judgment and error. Like if you know that they have other friends with benefits too, you're not just relying on their judgment. You're relying on the judgment of the people that they trust. Because suppose one day he trusts somebody to keep up their end of the transparency on staying clean, and that person slips. You know, so I see why you say it can be messy, it can be dirty.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to know that my girl is a hoe. Like before,
just
like
keep the whole facts to yourself.
If like,
I want the whole facts.
It can happen. Like she dated a bunch of people and didn't work out. Whatever, it happens, right? I can live with that, right?
Yeah.
But like, if she's intentionally going out to be a whore, that's fucking nasty.
That's hard for you to.
So
deal with.
We have a comment.
You know, I don't judge you.
We have a comment that says, "Can you be committed to one but still date others?" Because I do. Ray, Tamika, big up yourself. Yes, you can. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Hey, holla.
So I want to know how this works, though. So wait, let me understand the question. You're committed to someone. Yes. But you still see other people.
Yes. So are we moving into topic 2?
I think it's
this is topic number 2.
I think so.
Is it topic number 2?
It can be
no,
topic
1 second,
number 2.
Ryan.
Kissily, you there?
Men are hoes too, man.
Kissy.
I don't know what.
Men can be hoes too. I agree
Men
with
are
that.
hoes too. I agree.
Roll call, Kissily.
I did it. I tried it out, man.
Paging, Kissily.
I don't feel good about myself when I do that.
And sometimes men were the biggest hoes.
Yeah,
They have sometimes because they didn't get the label. So are we gonna do the voice note?
Topic. Oh, do we have a voice note?
Did somebody say a message or a voice note?
No, I'm saying roll call, Kissily. Where there?
Okay.
Is it your man or is it your man? The Y is silent.
Our man? Is it really our man? Hilarious. Well, let's talk about this. I want to sit back and just take in some notes. So take it away, sis.
So Jules,
take it away.
We did. I was saying that I agreed with you before we answered your question. I saw your comment, King. I did agree with you. Going back to Tamika, about can you date one, be committed to one and still date others? And this is where it comes into play. Is it your man or your man with the silent Y? You can replace man with woman if you're, you know, in the opposite situation. You feel me? But we're going to talk about dating being committed to one person and still seeing other people. So how that works is,
please do tell.
You can have a team. Why not?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Teamwork
Lisa looks so
makes
excited
the dream work.
I'm like so excited. I'm kind of like
no, because I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny that people think that love in every other situation can be complex. But in relationships, intimate relationships, it has to be very strict and confined and defined. What is that? How does that work? How does one word and one emotion mean different things when you're talking about the emotion?
I see what you're saying. I see where you're going.
I don't know. I think most people are old school. Like our grandparents are old school.
Yes.
We now have the internet and social media. And
Right.
I've already asked numerous old people. Like I work in a bar, so I ask old people weird questions. So I've already asked, were people hoes back in their day? Did people cheat on their husbands and wives?
Yeah.
Did they have side girls?
Side babies.
Yeah, I asked all. I'm like the worst, and they all agree. They're like, yeah, but no one broadcast it. Like if you cheat on your wife, your wife caught you, you best believe you weren't going into the house. You were, you know, you were in until scandal disappeared or whatever. Because there was no on social media people getting tagged, or there was no circle where we found everything out. But you know, it's like there was no like as soon as it died down, or the next door neighbor got a say girl, or this one got this, you weren't to talk. She was like, cool. Now I'm way back to the pub because I'm not the gossip. So they told me that it happened back then. It's just no one knew about it. And people did have mistresses, and people did have.
Everybody's got a video camera in their pocket.
Everybody has everything now. So now it's just more open and broadcast, and it's more socially acceptable.
Receipts.
So I think that's what it is.
What I'm saying is, why does it have to be considered cheating? It shouldn't be cheating. You should be able to have these honest conversations with your partner about the fact that there's going to be a team situation. However you want to construct your team, whether you talk about, hey, I'm going on a date with so-and-so, or I'm going out with so-and-so, however you want to phrase it, or if you just want to be like, as long as I don't see it, hear it, or feel it, we're good.
Yeah.
You know, why does it have to be considered cheating? If I can, I have 3 children. I love all 3 of my children equally. I want the same things for my children. If something were to happen to either one of them, I would feel the same way about either one of them. I would give my life for any of my children. And there's 3 of them. I love them equally. Right? I have a partner. If in the future I wanted to have a second partner, why can't I love both my partners equally? Because someone said that I have to love one more than the other? Because someone said that the other one I have to lust after, because people say that the second one can't be real, because you can only be in love with one person at a time, because someone said that? That's why? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
I can't love 2 men equally because someone said so.
Wasn't me.
Because you're not me, so you know my heart, right? You know my heart.
It's a social
You know how much room I have in there.
Yeah.
And what motivates my heart.
I think
this is what you're saying.
I think you really, really enlightened a lot of people with that, because I think that you're built. I think you have to be built a certain way, to be honest with you.
I'm communal.
And
totally. Yes.
But the thing is you're having awareness of yourself. A lot of people won't even have that dialogue with themselves to know if they're about that life, and then they find themselves like, why can't I stop cheating? Because they haven't maybe had that conversation with themselves to know what they need and want. You know?
I don't know. I can agree to an extent, but I think that's okay. But I think not everyone's ideal goal in life is to settle down, get married, have kids and stuff. But I think that's all fine and dandy if you don't have kids.
I know my male friend. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. My male friends, there's like they get addicted to the chase. It's just a chase. They like the chase, and that's really what we're born to do, right? As men. Not saying it's right, but
Well, nature versus nurture, right? So then it comes back to what you're saying about society telling you have to be monogamous. Maybe some people just aren't built for that, you know?
right.
Some people aren't, and some people, if it works for them, like, you know, I know people who have a husband and wife, and then they have this girl that comes over every other weekend, or, you know, I actually read recently about this couple who, I don't know what happened actually. I read the article, but they have husband and wife, 3 kids, and then they have their girlfriend that lives with them. The wife actually divorced her husband so that all 3 of them could be married. Now, I don't remember right now how exactly they were able to get married, but they were able to have, no, it was a common law relationship. Like, everybody's common law. And their kids are running around and things. Like, that's cool if that floats your boat. Like, if you and your husband or you and your man want a girl or a guy, whatever, in your life.
Yeah, but
I understand that, right? But to me, as a girl, like, no, what if he gets her pregnant? I'm not happy about that.
Well, people do set up rules too, yeah.
Yeah, but accidents happen.
Well,
so there's nobody in this world that can tell me, yo, accident, go to the abortion clinic. Yeah. Hell knows nobody's telling me that.
Right.
So you might get into a relationship like that, and I don't know. It's that's your husband, your life partner. You have children, you love them, and all of a sudden, this thing that was supposed to be, I said thing. This thing is supposed to be a little bit of fun, someone around the house, someone to help babysit the kids, someone to help you do the cleaning. You know, when you have a headache and you don't want to give money, she's here. But yet she's not giving your child a sibling.
It's true.
She's overstepped her line.
So now you're both mothers to the children.
We're both mothers. I'd be gone. I would I would be him, her, out on their ear. I wouldn't. And that's the thing. It's okay having this relationship, but everybody changes. That girl might be like, you know what? I'm 35 years old. I got no kids. I like this setup. She'll get over it.
It's true.
Oops, accidents happen. My bad. Right. No, I couldn't live with that. I couldn't deal with that at all.
I think it goes with what also you were saying, Lisa, which is people change and grow in relationships. So this is a conversation where it comes back to intention. Let the person know, like, listen, I've decided this is going to be my lifestyle for the long term. You know, you have to let them know, because it's kind of unfair to say, you know, to start off that way and then you change and then you expect the person to now shut the door on that lifestyle and be monogamous with you. It's kind of like you have to close that door on that.
Sorry, 1 second.
Somewhere else.
Someone's asking to see my nails.
Oh yeah, they're pretty.
Thank you. I got some diamonds, got some glitter, I got some confetti, girl. A little foil. Zip.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So Tamika was saying that you can't own anybody. You cannot possess a person. I give birth to children, but I cannot possess my children. Once my children become adults, they make their own decisions. You only have your children for such a short time in life. Our parents had us for such a short time. If you're blessed enough to live to be 80, you have your child for 1/4 of their life. Less than a quarter. The rest of that, they're on their own. You don't possess children. You don't own them. So you don't own your partners either. You can't own people. It's a very capitalist thing to want to own things, to want to define and keep things and make rules about things. Unless you're protecting something, life and death protecting something, unless you're protecting someone's spirit or their soul, you can't own or make rules for things that you cannot, that are beyond you. You control yourself. If my person wants to pick up a teammate, we're going to have to talk about how that works.
Right.
But I'm down for the team. Homegirl might be better at laundry than me. She might be better because I forget. I put things in the wash and I get to having myself a beverage and I forget. If homegirl is more diligent about the laundry, baby, thank you. Thank you. I got you on dessert. Got you, girl. We're good.
It frees you up too. It does. It frees you up. It frees up your mental space. You're not bogged down with the pressure of all of the roles and having to be everything to one person. So it can expand your room to flourish as an individual.
Flourish. You know, 3 incomes are better than 1. You stay there. But you want to keep man to yourself. No.
Share the love. Gotta give to get.
It's actually going that way. You're gonna notice in the future, like,
But I think that's what's happening.
yeah, it's happening.
Do you see it?
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's been happening.
it's been happening,
People are
but
just afraid to say it.
right. But it'll be out in the open soon.
Yeah.
Or like there'll be more than 2 people as a couple.
If your girlfriend came to you, Dougie, and was like, "Okay, I really like this girl for us. Like, I know how she would jive with you. I know how she would jive with me. She already knows this is the girl.
I'm already down, man.
So you be down for that?"
It takes away the secrets. It takes away the lying. It takes away the guilt about being attracted to somebody, or not being able to control your feelings for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We're adults.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel a way for somebody, I don't want you to lie about it, because I'm gonna get mad when I find out, and then we're gonna fight because I caught you in a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather you have just told me I can't help it, but
I'm attracted to so and so.
You see Shanika?
Yeah.
Oh, Shanika body well round and plumpy.
I
love Shanika still, because Shanika body a gwan.
hi.
No,
Me do. Be like, yeah, man, Shanika body look good.
No,
Shanika,
there's a
what's
difference.
Somebody go tag Shanika. Paging
Dougie,
Shanika's
can
body
you
in
DM
aisle
girls
4.
stay
Right? I don't want my person to lie about that.
That's young.
No, but there's a
And if
difference.
he's tempted to act on it, because
Yeah,
I might
boy.
be tempted to act on it, I mean, do your thing.
I
You know?
don't know. There's a
Gossa
difference.
sometime.
I don't know. I think there's a difference in agreeing, because like sometimes like you're just that girl. Doesn't matter who I'm with. Like
Mhm.
I can compliment girls and I can compliment people, but I don't know if I would like. Different if you're in what type of relationship you're in, but if this is somebody that I want to have kids and stuff with, I'm not cool with that.
That's fine.
No,
if
I
you
get.
find monogamy and monogamy
What's
works
that
for you, I
sound
I'm not-
support that. I
I'm
love
not- I'm
that.
not- I don't know.
If you like it, I love it.
No,
I'm
but
ready
I'm
for
not
it.
saying, I'm just saying that it's okay to do.
I just
Different
think
thing.
maybe I'm old.
I know that. It's like, I don't know about that life,
You're
you know.
taking notes. No, the thing is, honestly, but for the okay, I think it goes with what Orla's saying. Depending on who you're with, the person I'm with, I want to build a certain life with that person. That partner brings out this in me to say, you know what, this is what I want to build, and this is the way. These are the tools I want to build it with. I'm not saying it can't be built with another person involved. It probably could go faster. But I don't want to build a 3-bedroom house.
Me
I want to
neither,
build
no.
a 1-bedroom house with this. This is the person.
What if Tom
Mind
says
you-
you're attracted to me?
Oh my
Are
god.
we doing this?
Maybe we're Dougie right now.
I always just say.
Are we doing this? But the thing is, though.
Thank you, Krista.
I'll come back to that.
No,
But
don't.
there's different people.
I'm
like
joking.
if it wasn't him, maybe if it was somebody else, I might look at it that way, because different people bring out different things. That's what I'm saying. So I'm one of those people to say, okay, never say never. But because this person is who I have my goals to be with, I can't see myself doing it with him.
Yeah.
I could probably entertain the idea if it was with a different person. But what he brings out in me, I want to give that to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I could never do it. I just don't think I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It depends. Like coming in at work and you got 2 people bitching at you. You fucking you didn't make
Those are
the bed, or
downsides, yeah.
oh, it was your turn to make the dinner, or like what?
Yeah, it's not as
You know what I
glamorous.
mean?
all
Like
the time.
I don't think it's gonna be glamorous, or like
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where if you're in a 3-way in your room, and then oh, go ahead, leave me out, more of this. I wouldn't be happy with that either.
But then the girlfriend or the unicorn, whether it's the male or female, the unicorn would probably last longer if the unicorn didn't live with everybody full time. Like
See,
if the
I
unicorn
think-
came over,
Exactly.
like for the weekend, and y'all went out and y'all turned up, and you know what I mean. And the unicorn knows when to take a hint at. Maybe I'll skip this weekend and let them have their thing. The unicorn has
I
to
just
be
gotta
in
have a
tune.
place to run where. Yeah, man. Sometimes I need a place to run where. I don't want to lay
So
hands
you
on
want
people.
to be the unicorn, or do you want a unicorn?
I have to be first.
I'm dying.
So you was a
I have to be first, wife. It's not go work no other way.
Oh,
I know my
I don't
personality.
think I could do it either.
I know
think
my
I would,
personality.
if it's on my
Yeah.
terms and it's my role.
Because I'm not going to take no
Possibility.
check from nobody.
Yeah.
I know myself. I'm not going to take
I'm
no
not
check, so I
either.
have to be first.
That's the whole thing. You have to have real rules. And it's like, okay, is the third party involved in the bedroom all the time with you, or is this just your outside escape?
I'm sure
Those
it's
are like all these
complex.
dynamics. Yeah,
Exactly.
like, is this my
very
weekend guy,
complex.
or are we living in and doing everything together? And it's like, okay, but then you have to say rules like, okay, you only start and finish with me. You know what I mean? And what happens if you just can't hold it and
You
you
have
bust
to
dinner?
finish.
You know
Stick
what
up
I mean?
in.
You have to start
You
and finish
have
with
to
me.
finish with your person.
You have to start with your person too.
Disrespect if you don't.
Yeah.
Later on in your relationship, if you want to
Problems.
start doing them things, that's
Problems.
different. But while you're setting that foundation, don't diss your person.
But let's see, I
Yeah,
don't think
rules
it'll
to
work
the
because
thing.
women are very territorial. It won't work.
I am. I'm extremely
I know
territorial.
myself.
There's
Your
there's
nature is
there's
territorial.
there's,
I am
there's
very-
boundaries that you have to put in place.
But why would that
Women
other
are
girl follow
territorial.
boundaries?
Women are territorial.
That's what I'm saying.
Some
make-
women are territorial,
I
just
think
like
some people
men
will
are territorial.
follow. They'll be like, yes, I will go along with this. But you know what? Girls, we all have a little evil streak in all of us.
There's always going to be
Men
a little
have it
You
too.
aren't
slight
going
bit
to
of
tell me
jealousy.
what to, I'm sorry, what?
Men have it
I
too.
come over here to give you a good time.
Men have-
I'm not saying I do, but however.
Mhm.
And it could be like they start getting, or they catch feelings for the guy.
This is
Or
the
they
thing.
start wanting what.
Chemistry. Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't know biologically until how a person's going to react and how their DNA is going to change until they come in the picture. So you have this prospective unicorn now, and she's nice, and you bring her in. You might have played with her a little bit before too, and you know your partner knows about it, and he knows you're testing her out and thing. And she's good with it, and mentally she set up her mind to where, okay, I'm not going to catch feelings. But how do you know biologically once she starts getting involved with your man now that's not going to shift?
I know.
It's
Do you know what I
going to.
mean? So it's like it's a whole Pandora's box of.
I don't-
It's a lot that you have to
What is the
consider.
best sex she's ever got? What if he's a great respecting man, father, runs the household?
What if her
brings the garbage
pheromones
out?
just reach him in a different place than yours do? Like, so there's a lot of things you have to have a conversation with your partner
For
around.
sure.
Is this person coming in and into the bedroom with all three of you, or is this a, hey, I'm going to go check Chelsea today, and you know what, I'll be back for the weekend, and when I come back, I'm gonna do some bum head. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna ride you like, you know,
Sounds like
whatever.
a housemaid with benefits.
Because if it was a
The more
girl
I
on
talk
the
about
road,
this, the more I'm like,
I could see where some women come back home and they're better for their man.
Right.
But a girl in the home now, some women may not be able to, because
no,
I'm telling you, not everybody can hold it. Like,
I don't think
I sent you a voice note. But one thing I want to just talk about is that I don't really like that when people think about polygamous relationships or plural relationships, that the first thing that we're talking about or the main thing that we're talking about is
Is the
sex.
True.
When I say I'm communal,
Mm-hmm.
I've had situations in my life where I've had my sister, my mother, my children, my husband, my nephew, and an aunt, all in the same house.
Mm-hmm. So lifestyle, like
I can live with people.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
People don't bother me.
Yeah.
No.
If something that you do annoys me or I think it's not going to work for the community,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You don't have to like what I have to say
Mm-hmm.
because you're not going to like everything that everybody has to say.
That's true.
I lie.
But when you
But
speak up,
it's
about
for the community.
Yeah.
I don't just say things just to say things. So when people talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
I know they're talking to me about things that I do that impact the community as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep it moving. You respect each other's space.
Mm-hmm.
You give each other privacy. You spend time when you spend time.
Mm-hmm.
And you take your time away when you take your time away. You see what I'm saying? I'm one of those people. I could have 8 roommates and be okay. You know what I mean? I don't need to be like, I need my space. No. I can be with people.
Yeah.
Dougie, you were saying something about that's
Like-
you're familiar with that.
Yeah, like I live
Like
with
that.
my ex, but I have my own room, my own
Mhm.
space,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind having people in the common area. Like I don't walk around in my house naked, so it doesn't
Mhm.
bother me.
Well, we
Right.
came over for a movie and everybody was chill. Like we just
Yeah,
all
you
chilling.
guys came over,
And
and
she was upstairs and she said hey, and it wasn't like, oh, you got people here, you know? It's
No.
very comfortable. Like if I walked into that home and I didn't already know the setup, I would not have felt any sort, like I didn't feel any sort of awkwardness, tension, nothing. It was
No.
just like, hey. But there's a lot of people who do that now, who actually, come together and live together for multiple different reasons, be it finances, be it family, be it the children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that when I was separated, because I've been separated on and off, I was separated on and off forever. One of the things that my dad wanted to do was come in and do the basement and do your thing. At least when the kids want to see dad, they pop downstairs, and you know what I mean? And it makes it easier to say, hey, you know what? You want to grab your girlfriend and we go out to the, I was prepared to live that way. But as again, because of what you're saying is, you have a bigger vision in mind. I was thinking of the kids. I was thinking of doing the mortgage, all these things. I could have done it.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody's built for it, and that's problematic. And
you have to be mature about it too.
And you have to communicate going into it. I can live like this, or no, I can't live like this. I find out what a lot of people do is they feel curious about something, coming back to the relationship lifestyle. They test it out, but they haven't been honest with themselves about whether it's something they can really do.
Exactly.
And then they go into it saying, yeah, I'm gung-ho, let me try it out. And then when they're in it, they're like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to communicate that now, because now they have to have two honest conversations, one with themselves, and then they have to go to this other person and say, I can't do this still. So,
what I'm thinking is why some people can't do it is because one person still has like a little bit of feelings or some kind of love for that other person. So it bothers them to know that other person's going out on a date, or like, I don't care if she's out on a date. She doesn't care if I'm out on a date because we don't love each other.
Right.
Do you think it's easier for a couple to have a girlfriend than it is for a couple to have another man? Like a boyfriend?
Yeah,
what is it?
Do you think it's easier for, sorry guys, my throat is going. Do you think it's easier for couples to try out this lifestyle when it's a girlfriend versus another man? And then you come down to territorialism, like nature versus nurture. Men don't want to share their woman with another man. Versus they're okay with their woman having a girlfriend.
I don't know if it's that. I just think guys are very, I don't know how to say this. I just think guys don't want another man. A lot of guys are, I don't know what word to actually say. I don't want to say the word homophobic, and I don't want to say that, but I mean, guys don't want other guys. They don't want to see other guys naked. They don't want other guys' penises near them. No. They don't want that, and I think that's the issue.
But we're going back to the sex.
Yeah, right? I'm talking about you're knowing your woman has a boyfriend too.
See, Maxwell says, think about one woman with multiple husbands. Right. We're all waiting in line to have our kids. Same difference if you're coming to me with previous youths from other men. Okay, I don't know about that last part of your comment. But in terms of like men, I don't know about that last part of it.
Raymond.
But
I hope my ex has a boyfriend.
Right? But I hear what you're saying in terms of waiting your turn. Right? So
that could be rough for guys. Like, damn, I gotta wait till Wednesday, and even then, she's not even gonna be tight up because my man has a piece of elbow.
Men swing their cocks. Men swing their cocks, so they don't want other men swinging their cock on what they have. Yeah. At the end of the day, they're like lions trying to rule the prey, rule the pride. Pardon me. You know what I mean? So
is this when two people are together or living together, but they're not together?
Well,
regardless, however your relationship is set up. I think that's why it's easier for a man to have multiple wives or girlfriends
than it is for a woman to have multiple women.
It would take a really, really secure set of men.
That could never happen with me.
I don't think I know anybody that would be okay with that as a guy.
I do.
You do?
Oh, you're so lucky. I went in there. Where are you hiding them? The people want to know.
I don't think
don't worry, guys. I'll get her drunk.
I vibrate that though. That's the energy I put out.
Yeah, you pull that in. But you know what though? At the end of the day, it's not for anybody to. I think we're talking about social contracts. Not for anybody to. People like to judge what they don't understand. Mm-hmm. And it'd be so good that now that we have this new platform or social media, people use that time to ask questions, because I learned a lot just sitting here. I'm hearing you talk, and I'm thinking as you're saying it, I'm seeing if it were me, how I would operate in that situation. So you could learn a lot about yourself just by asking questions. I really love this topic. I would love it if maybe we, let's talk about this week, guys. Let's hash it out. I want to see your comments. So, I want to talk about men being okay with women having outside boyfriends. And I want to talk about, are men more okay with women having a girlfriend. And, you know, how does it affect the sex? Like, would you want your unicorn to live with y'all all the time? So I think I really want to see you guys go in the comments with this, and let's keep it going, because I learned a lot tonight. Anybody else want to sign off?
No, ma'am.
Good. Any voice notes? We do have a voice note, don't we?
I did send you one.
All right, Moose. So we're getting to you, babes. Thanks so much for your patience. The Moose has a comment. Huh? Hold on, Moose. There we are. Mm-hmm. I'm coming back to you. Okay, Moose.
One headache is enough for me. Because Lord knows, imagine all 4, 5, 6 of you get angry at me at the same time. I just want to know who's going to take care of my obituary, basically.
Sorry, Moose. Can I just play that again?
Moose, what did you do to all of them?
Before he said that, I just pictured him clutching his chest and dropping down. Moose, I'm sorry. I have to pull up.
One headache is enough for me. Because Lord knows, imagine all 4, 5, 6 of you get angry at me at the same time. I just want to know who's going to take care of my obituary, basically.
Shout out to Moose, yo. Moose with a T. Oh, Joe
Elizabeth. I picture Moose like, Elizabeth, I'm coming home.
I wonder if I think I'd go home and be like, I'm staying at this guy's house. I'm staying at my mom's.
No, man. That's just when you just smoke pure loud, yo. One time. Here comes Joe.
With all the support of the poly life and all that, and I guess I support it too. It might not be for me, but, you know, live your life however you live your life. Where does the concept of emotional cheating come into play? Because we were talking about that last week, and I don't believe that's a real thing. I believe that unless you get physical with somebody, you're not cheating. I've been accused of it quite a few times in, you know, my long life of relationships or whatever, but I've never actually understood what it meant.
Ooh,
That's
Joe,
a good question.
Fantastic question. Orly, you want to start it off, babe?
I don't know. I think it depends. Cheating, everyone has their own opinions on cheating or whatever, but I think as soon as you start deleting something, whether it's a missed call or whether it's a text message or whether it's something you don't want your other half to see, there's something wrong there. I'm not necessarily saying it's cheating, but there's something you don't want to share with your other half, or you don't want them to see, or your race, that's a gray area right there.
Like flirting's one thing. Like I like to flirt with girls, right? I get a kick out of it. But when you got to draw the line somewhere, you got to let that person know that you're just flirting with them, right? Or, you know, like what your intentions are, right? Because if they start sending, you know, like these messages that you know when you're catching feelings for somebody, that's when it's emotional cheating. The minute you start feeling that feeling, you're catching feelings. That's emotional cheating to me. But the flirting thing, it's nothing. Like you need that, I think.
I see what you're saying. It's like, you know, if your partner knows, hey, you know what, straight up, I'm a natural flirt, but you know, me, it's not going to go no further. And if you are that guy or that girl and you see that the other person you're engaging with start shifting to a few degrees, that flirtatious banter back with you, you're going to feel that shift in energy, and then it's time to draw the line. I think with what Orla is saying is where I think emotional cheating becomes, or, you know, engaging emotionally with other partners outside of your partner when you haven't discussed that that's okay with you. I feel that that's problematic when you start thinking about your partner differently. Why can't you be like so-and-so? Things your partner does start to annoy you that you used to tolerate, because now that you're engaging every day in these friendly conversations with this other person, you now have this measuring stick to put your partner against. And, you know, you start getting frustrated where you would have been long-suffering because there's a litmus in the situation. And you don't always have to have sex or even talk about sex with somebody for you to connect. And then you're like, but yo, like, why can't my girlfriend be like her? And then when you're in the bedroom, you're fantasizing about them now. So I think that's where
while you're sexing,
right, while you're with your partner. So I feel like it can become problematic. And once there's any sort of third entity in an established exclusive relationship, whoever let the third entity in opened the door. It's a problem.
Like letting a spirit in or something.
That's exactly what it is, because emotions are energy in motion.
Right.
If I have an emotional connection with you, my energy and your energy are intermingling.
Right.
So that's an invisible DNA that's forming. You're creating something, because you will never leave your life and they will never leave their life having not been affected by that spiritual footprint they left on your life. Why on earth would you leave yourself open long enough to establish that with someone else? If in your relationship you have established it's just us two, it doesn't have to reach sex. That little friendly chit chat, just the person always texting at 10 a.m. and you're looking forward to their text, or they don't text at 10 that day and you're like, wait, awa. Like, you literally, the same way you come together in sex and create something and your DNA mixes, you created a thing with this person. So I can see why some people see it as cheating, Lisa.
I don't think it's cheating.
I love how different we are tonight.
Yeah.
I don't. I think what you're doing is you're being disloyal.
Yeah.
If you've made a commitment to one person, I've been in monogamous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I can be faithful to one person, and if that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you make a love contract with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You honor that. The minute that it becomes an issue is when you stop being dishonest. And if it's something that you can't share with your person,
it's dishonest.
That's my issue. It's not that it's cheating per se.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Physical cheating.
No, not even that. Like emotional cheating, you're developing a love for someone, because I already think that it's possible and capable, that we're capable and that it's possible and that we're actually designed to have love for people.
But my question to you is, in following that, I'm following with you and I'm walking with you,
Mm-hmm.
what do you define as emotional cheating? Because
I don't think
there's a such
if you
thing.
have no,
Mm-hmm.
I think what it is you're having an honest and human reaction.
But the question is then, if you've agreed with your person in your love contract that it's just you two,
Oh yes,
why
yeah.
did you go out there and either allow or invite that opportunity to where now you can start experimenting with loving more person than one person? So at some point, something was breached.
No, because see, that's the thought process.
I think
You're thinking about somebody actively looking for something, or somebody
or allowing,
inviting or entertaining
I'm
something.
saying, or allowing passively.
No.
So then
That is not
I
always
I'm
the
playing
case.
devil's advocate.
You're playing
with
devil's
you.
advocate on a situation that could happen, that would require someone to take responsibility and accountability in that situation.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is there are other situations in which you can develop a love or rekindle a love without having to actively seek something out and break this love contract.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
If I run into, let's say, I'm going about my merry way and an ex moves down the street, and this ex was the one that got away, kind of thing. Or maybe this was just an ex that I didn't even get to explore properly. They come back into the community, and just seeing them, I've got this well of emotion that I didn't expect, and I don't know what to do about it, because I have this emotion.
Yeah, you could definitely be blindsided.
You know what I mean?
It could just be, but then, okay.
So it's not necessarily, you broke the contract because you allowed somebody, you entertained somebody.
But
You know what I
if we
mean?
say that, then if we say that and we go through that door, then we have to ask ourselves, okay, but when do you realize that you have these feelings for this person, and you're holding that in one hand, and then in the other hand you're holding that, with your love contract with your person, entertaining or not telling your partner, I buck up on so-and-so, I'm me to tell you, like, feelings are coming back still. You hiding that from your partner. This is why I'm like, okay, I get why people say it's not cheating, it's secrecy, because what's wrong with saying, I can't help it. I don't know what it is. I've been working on this project with this client, and all of a sudden, and I can't fight it. I see it this way now. So if you're blindsided by it, at what point do you then have to protect the love contract that you already established. There's got to be a point where somebody takes responsibility. I don't care if we want to slide the line up and down the spectrum all day, but there's got to be a point where the person who realizes that this isn't okay with the terms of my love contract.
Right.
What am I going to do about this? Am I going to tell my partner about it? Or am I not going to tell my partner about it? And at least when you tell your partner about it, it's something that you and your partner can now have a dialogue. Okay, what does this person bring out in you? Is it because I'm not doing that? And I think personally, from my experience, I would feel less insecure if my partner told me.
Yes.
Because now I have an opportunity to work on things that I might feel like, otherwise, is she better at this than me? Something wrong with me? Oh God, I have competition. Never make your woman feel like she has competition.
Never.
Or your man, let them know, hey, I really, really, really am drawn to this about this person. And that gives your partner this opportunity to say, but wait a second, I can do that and I might be able to even do it better. Maybe I didn't have the motivation to show my partner that, I've got this in me too.
Everybody's love contract should be based off of honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I said this last week, say it again, because this is what I believe. If you can't be honest, that's the real issue. Mm-hmm. Not the emotions, the fact that you can't be honest.
I agree with that 100%.
I also think you have to, it's a dodgy subject too, right? Because you said you're axing up the street, whatever. It could just be you have this little infatuation with them.
Yeah.
It's the what if, or what if this had happened, and then you're creating all this drama in your own personal life. You're ruining your own home because of this what if. You're telling your partner, this guy down the street, I dated back when I was 17. This is why he's better than you. How the fuck do you know? The guy could be on a sick wife. He could be a serial killer. I don't fucking know, but I don't know. I think but you just can't go off. You don't think, I remember this guy when I was 17, or this guy I dated. He's the one that got away. Obviously, he got away for a reason. I think you have to understand. No, you just can't be like falling in love with this idea in person. You have to actually, I'm not saying taste the waters, but go talk to them, have a conversation, bring your husband. Let's go for a barbecue. Figure it out, because this other person who you might be having this whole crazy whirlwind with is probably happily married and like, how's up for sale?
I always say water your own grass, man, because people say the grass is greener on the other side. It's not.
True. You have to,
water your own grass, weed your own fucking weeds.
It's true.
So I think it depends on the situation, but people can't have little infatuations with people and think the world is brilliant, and then all of a sudden it's a wake-up call. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. So that's the whole thing, is be honest with yourself, I think, is most important. Check in with yourself frequently and make sure what worked for you 6 months ago is still working for you today, and keep your partner updated, Transparency.
Yes.
Any situation can work with transparency. Once you've decided that, doesn't matter what comes our way in this life, as long as honesty is there, I can do anything with this person or these persons who are your people. I think the thing that makes those, like you said, Orla, these things have been going on for years. I know a couple, like I said, they've been married for how many, 30-something odd years, and they've had their girlfriend for 25. But they're all transparent, and they check in with one another on, I remember even at one point we didn't see her for a long time, and everybody was wondering where she was, and it's because she started to develop feelings for one of the persons, and she had to take away herself because she respected the agreement that much. That's it. And she went over there and she did her thing, and she had kids. She went out, she had a man, she had kids and everything, and she was able to come back into the relationship when she knew what she was coming in it for, and she was clear on that.
She probably wanted kids. She probably felt like she was missing out on something.
She had to take away herself.
So I know people, it's a whole street. Like, I work at a golf course, and there's a whole street, like fucking 40 houses. And there's all the 3 houses on that street that don't participate in swinging or whatever you want to call it. Literally, the whole street. So they tell me when they're drunk, I'm like, what is going on here? So part they know is the garage, or garage as I call it, is like halfway up. So if you random Tuesday, you're walking down the street, the garage up, cool.
Going over by so-and-so.
Go over by such and such's house, or go do this, or one time it was their kids smoking weed. It was kind of awkward. But other than that, it happens though, and these people are openly telling about it. Like,
do you know if people have a star on their house, it means they're swingers?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. That's
interesting. Learn something new today. So, any other comments before we move on to the next topic? All right. So, lastly, mix up and blem blem.
Mix
Casa.
and BLEM.
Thank you so much. If you're still watching, you know we always say the pasa pasa till the end. So somebody update me. What did I miss? What was the pasa pasa?
Why? This week, who wants to talk about? Tell me what mix-up you want to talk about first.
Which one? So many to choose
because
from.
this mix-up
Wheel
this
of
week.
Mischief. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, you're fine.
It's a Wheel of Mischief. What are we starting with? Please, that's a stretch.
One
Stretch. I'm gonna top up Orla and Ting. Don't
So-
give up water.
Thank you.
No, I'm good.
What's really hood? There's all these groups that came up. Groups get locked down because people bad mind and lock down the group. Man them. You guys really started a group? No.
Really?
No. Where's the creators them?
They're not going to say who it is.
Slew them. Who them?
Oh my God.
No. I want to get in because I feel like you guys, you know, it's like some kind of boys club and I'm missing out on something. I don't love it.
So
You guys are in the circle talking about add up, add me now. Add up. What's good? So, okay.
So yeah, I'm back.
Groups popped up, groups locked down, group pop up in retaliation. Then there was,
Groups?
yes, there was
Okay,
retaliation.
what was the first group about though?
The
I did a retaliation group or a petty group?
T.
Ooh, it's so bright in here. Where's my glasses?
I think I used the wine one more this week than I ever have. Why not?
Was it okay? So the trigger group spawned a retaliation group.
Yes.
And the trigger group got shut down because the people were pissed off about what was coming out in the trigger group.
Basically.
So did the retaliation spawn group shut down the trigger group and then pop up with their shit?
I believe
Like, who
so.
shut it down?
I think the man got the women's group shut down because they were worried.
Were pictures being posted? Because that could be a
No,
community
not
standards
what.
thing.
You know what? I think what it was the guys were like, "Fuck, shit,
Black bad
we're in a
boss.
lot of trouble." Sorry for swearing. I don't know if my white doesn't swear.
It's okay.
I'm
Black
nervous.
bad boss. This is
But,
circle girls.
Yeah, I think that the guys got really worried. And the thing with the group is a few people chitter-chattered. Like, I was part of the other group, the one that got deleted. And, yeah, like, you guys are paranoid. Like, you guys aren't always on our mags. No one was even thinking about you guys. There was a couple of circle members got added. Not added. They were talked about. But that was a lot of people.
Listen,
Wasn't. I think too many people.
Men.
I don't
No.
like to call men out of their names. I don't. I just don't feel like that's a king-like group to be in.
For real.
If you can read between those lines.
Oh, I think
I'm not trying to disrespect nobody,
Still.
but boy, I never expected men to congregate to gossip like that.
And are they
No,
gossiping
that's
about
not the stream that I
Hofax?
get.
Is it a Hofax group?
apparently, but I
Yes.
think the guys. No, I think 90% of you men in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Are there to say, "Yo, who am I want to hit in the DM?"
You think
Not,
so?
yeah,
To say, who
not be
can
like,
I run up
"Oh,
on
I'm not
quick?
talking to her. She's talked to 4 guys." You're like, "Yo, it's Friday night, 9 o'clock. I'm hitting up her."
You think so?
100%. I think the boys.
I see why
Is
she's
the
I think they
opposite
talk about basketball.
of the.
There's a quick run up.
I don't know.
I think so. I think that's more the opposite way.
I think they did it just to make it seem like
Yeah, they're probably in there talking about the TFC game last night.
whatever.
I don't know, man, but
Anyway.
I think Sheldon's a man.
Sheldon? Sheldon, you're there, King.
Yo.
You know what though? He's always straight up most
Sheldon
of the time.
had girls
You gotta-
fighting over his dick. the
No,
whole week.
no,
It was
no,
funny.
no,
No.
don't blem.
No.
You see, this is what happened in the group.
Yeah,
People-
Nobody
people
was fighting
gossip,
over
that wasn't
Sheldon's
happening.
dick. Nobody
No.
was mad about Sheldon's dick.
None of the girls in that
You see what I'm
group
saying?
were mad.
This is what I don't like
The
about
refs
mix
were
up.
mad.
Me
the
whisper
people
A to Tanika and Tanika tell the B.
Did I know?
Not because she's adding B, but because she remembers B, because that's how memory works.
True.
And then Doug tells Orla B and C, because that's how memory works. That's what happened.
Right.
Chinese whispers.
Like-
Like,
So why did they? Okay, so then when this initial trigger group got started
Mhm.
and it got shut down, what made it all spill back into the circle then? Because what I understand is it wasn't. I think the men felt like, oh, this group created to talk about circle men.
No,
but that's what was coming through broken telephone.
It was.
No, because
and that's what reached back to circle men.
Because women aren't as loyal to other women as men are to other men.
Some of the
so
women,
you don't have to
women got in their feelings.
But
oh my God, I'm not the only one.
There were women who were carrying back news.
That's what happened. The women.
They were carrying back
feelings,
and then making posts in the circle about news that they either carried back or news that they heard back. I'm gonna hide on top. I'm gonna care if you want vex.
So why?
You shouldn't be bringing things that happen in other groups into this group.
I've always said that. Just leave it over there. Like,
and we can't control
doors.
Either.
Doors are great, guys. Doors are fantastic. Why can't people have doors?
This is a group that's supposed to be thought-provoking. Did you see the tagline for the group?
Yes.
So some people say that we allow certain mix up and turn a blind eye. So we just shift the conversation from the groups them because we don't really want to give too much hype about the man group. All men in a group. Anyway.
Well,
to sit down and chat, woman.
I wasn't invited to that party. That sausage fest.
Oh, facts. It couldn't be seen as a sausage fest.
Anyway.
So BLEM.
No, but like it doesn't matter. This isn't a locker room. Like, you guys are recreating grade 11. Anyway.
BLEM.
Sorry. So, yeah. Things are coming back into this group.
Carrying shit.
Right? People are selling out their friends. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? All for what? Somebody to hit the reaction button on your comments? That's what it is? So you could post a funny meme after? A funny GIF? That's what's really hood. GIF? What I used to call me meme, so don't mind me. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay? All because, and then what? So someone has to pull up on your post, and if they don't pull up on your post, they're not really a bad man or a bad girl? Really? That's what's hood in the circle?
I couldn't keep
thought-provoking. The tagline says thought-provoking. So you might get mad that we leave certain mix-up, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but me get to my feelings. No.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
Not my feelings like I care about it, but my feelings like I feel to speak on it, so don't get it twisted.
We have to go there, though, so I'm
waiting
for you to go
just
there.
Clarifying, because it's not feelings like I care, because all I want is for my DM to live. Like, can my DM live?
Yeah. And it is about
it can't live when you guys are out here acting like you're 12 and 15. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying now. Let me take out the earpiece, because all of you voice note, I'm not going to check it right now. You mind?
I don't mind.
You mind? Give me just 3 minutes.
I don't mind.
3 minutes?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short, because I talk a lot.
Well, you could do it better than me, girl, because you don't know the wording.
All right. So, we have posts in the group that disrespect general populations. I see the post, I look at the post, I kiss my teeth. I say, watch this jackass now. Right?
And you keep it moving.
And I keep it moving. Or I'll open the comments just to be like, all right.
Let me see what pops.
Let me see the lay of the land. See how everybody's handling things. Some people will see the jackass for the jackass. Other people are legit becks with the jackass.
Hurt.
You see, when I send my money to Bell for my cell phone bill, and when I send my money to Rogers for my Wi-Fi, I'm not thinking about any of you, eh? I'm thinking about the fact that I like data, and I have a pretty decent plan, and I have a bill that needs to be paid. So if I see something on the internet that I don't like, you know what I do? I either shut my phone off or change what I'm doing.
Self-control.
Because I'm an adult, and aside from the people who know me in real life and exercise my DM or my text or my WhatsApp or my BBM, because yes, I still have BBM, or they call me, unless you're or come to my house, unless you're one of those people and you're exercising an intimate way of communicating with me and directly disrespecting me, then what you say to me on the internet really doesn't hold any weight.
For real, like.
No, I am down for the beat and teach. I enjoy healthy conflict resolution.
Hello.
I am a fan of crafty insults.
And let's hash
Me
it
too.
Some
out.
of you guys
me in trouble.
have me
Sipa.
in stitches,
Let's sift this out.
rolling, me a laugh,
Yeah, me too.
because you guys are hilarious when you get witty and crafty with your responses.
And when they think it hurts you, but meanwhile you're like, yeah, you want to high five them for that because you're like, yo,
But
yeah,
this
and you
suck
think
your-
you're mad.
This
but
suck
you're
your
like,
mom
"Touche."
talks. The suck
Touche.
your mom
Like that.
talks.
Mm.
The talks about racism and oh, you're white this and you're evil and rate. I don't rate that stuff because it takes very basic, very basic
Okay.
level
Just say
thinking
When
to
you
say
resort
those
to that
things.
card, it means you've got nothing left.
Yeah.
Like
You
when
see
you
what I'm
resort to that card,
When-
you abandoned
When there was an
reasoning.
issue, yes, when there was an issue because a post was deleted mistakenly. Now, Orla wasn't here. She
Yes,
took a small
Elizabeth,
break.
You're right.
She took a small break.
Mhm.
So she wasn't here when, as a team, we decided we weren't going to be deleting posts.
Right.
Just if something's popping off in a subthread, we're deleting the subthread. If a post is offensive at the outset, we're taking it off. If it's a general thing, you know what I support? Healthy conflict resolution. Attack the jackass.
Thank you.
Attack the jackass. Check the jackass.
For real.
Check. You guys have posts out here talking about how savage you are. Competitions. I'm the most savage. No, this is what I did. So this is the most savage.
This is where you didn't have
But
to-
then, oh, thank you, Mama.
Mhm.
But then, when people come on the internet and say disrespectful things, you don't remember how to be savage anymore.
And then you want us to be savage for
No,
you
no,
to
no.
take it
Half
down.
want us to be savage.
It's 50-50.
Half want
Anarchy.
us to leave it alone and have anarchy. And
And lawlessness, Lisa.
lawlessness doesn't work. It's too big of a group.
Yeah.
It's too big of a group.
If
We
were
can't
niche.
we can't monitor all of your posts. We have almost 1,000 posts a day. You want us to do post approvals? I have
my
2
God.
jobs and 3 kids, and I'm only one admin.
Hi.
There's 6 of
3
us.
jobs, 6 against
We're not
4,000.
going to.
doing
Sorry,
that.
I like the suggestion.
Police
We're not
yourself.
going to police you in that way.
No.
We're
A
talking
full-time
about
job.
And the
overtly
funny,
taking overtly disrespectful comments off. We'll do that. Other things, I expect you to rise to the occasion
yeah.
and deal with the jackass in the way that you wish.
This is
Just
it.
not talk about people mother.
Yeah.
Like, do it with your intelligence. Do it with your wit.
Intellect. Yeah.
Now, there was an issue because the whole post was deleted. I meant the whole thread. When I said the whole thing needs to come down, I meant the thread. Because we've already decided we're not taking whole posts once they're active.
Mm-hmm.
It was deleted mistakenly. It was 2:30 in the morning.
I deleted it.
She did delete it by mistake.
But she
Okay,
thought
whatever.
she thought you meant take down the whole thread.
No,
right.
While you meant
I
take
never-
down the
What
subthread.
happened was, I'll
Take
tell
down
you
the
what happened.
subthread.
Yes,
Okay,
when I
hold
clicked
on.
on
No.
it, just hit delete. So I hit delete.
Right,
It's fine.
right. So that things happen. Okay,
Mhm.
I was partying. It was my brethren's birthday.
Mhm.
I didn't even want to be in you guys mix up, but I got a few tags because of a member meme. I got a tag because of whatever was going on. People want to share the joke. Me to laugh.
Okay.
There were some, you guys are witty. Some of your comments were witty. Some of them were really trash and hurtful, but most of them were witty. And the next day, when I realized that the whole post came down because of a video that was posted, we had an intellectual adult exchange, myself and a few members. Big up yourself, those people, because you had comments. I listened to your comments. I listened to your feedback. I understood what you were saying. I apologized. I explained how it happened. And guess what happened? The post was revived because we're adults.
Right.
And if you have an issue with admin, talk to me. My DM is open.
Yeah.
If you have my cell phone number, use it. If you have my WhatsApp,
WhatsApp,
use it. You know how to find me on Facebook if you don't. If anybody's going to answer you, I'm going to try and answer you. Everybody will answer you, but you can guarantee I will answer you.
Thank you.
So if you see something that you don't like, oh, you don't want to talk to me in the DM? At me on something. At me. I respond.
We all do.
Yeah.
I respond. You're going to see things, and half of you are going to say, oh, the circle's changed because there's too much negativity. What you do to fix that?
So change
Thanks.
it.
That's what I was saying.
Be
That's
part
what I
of the
was saying this
solution,
week.
not part of the problem.
What do you
That's what I'm saying
post? What content do you contribute to? What do you respond to?
This is my
Because
thing. I
these-
said that this week. Sorry, Lisa. Do
Yeah,
you know
no.
how many times Doug posts personal development? I think you and I are probably the personal development people.
Yeah.
And they don't get any likes.
Nothing.
And it's I find that it's a lot of the foundation members who've been around long enough to notice the transition who are vocal when it's time to lament. But don't come to the GM and say, hey, you know what? I really would like to see a shift in this. How would you feel if I became the nutrition prime? And I'll post nutrition shit. I'll be the group nutrition person.
Right.
Nobody's coming forward with what they want to do to contribute to changing the situation.
They just want to bitch.
And it's like, 1 week you want this, 1 week you want that. 50% of you want lawlessness, 50% of you want order. Like, you know.
Same people that are
some people
bitching
don't
about
care.
the negative posts, when I post something positive,
Nobody, like
they're not even engaging.
at all. Do you
At
know you
all.
can turn on notifications for people? If you are in a community and you like the content that that person posts, you can befriend them on Facebook and turn on notifications. And any joint communities that you're in with them, you will get notifications on their posts first. So hi. It like, you know.
And Minimum Hat says, let's admit it, sex and drama sells.
It
You're
does.
right. It
But
does.
then don't complain that it's all sex and drama. If that's all that you allow. Nobody's saying that.
Or if that's all that you contribute
Right.
to.
But nobody's saying that the wholesome stuff is has to be sell-off. Everybody knows wholesome doesn't sell. But it's like when you go on Lipstick Alley. You go where you want to go. If you don't want to deal with celebrity news and you want to go to sports, you go to sports. Like, befriend the people who contribute the content you like and go on their personal Facebook page and turn on notifications for them. And when they do contribute something, engage. Do you know that when you engage on something, you bump it to the top and hey, what do you know? The other intellectuals might pop out of hiding and actually comment too. So there's a lot that can be done by the community as well to shift the energy. And our DMs are always open. This always gets me as people have the most to say on the threads, but the DM is a dry like a tumbleweed. Like there's nothing coming through. Like and like Lisa said today, it's like I'm okay with the intellectual ping pong. I can go all day. I have the endurance. Toss your ideas at me. I'm coming into every dialogue looking to learn something and looking to put down something that I came in with and looking to pick up something.
Yes, I remember that
So,
in Maxwell.
You know, I'm looking to pick something up and put something down. So I don't understand why this is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it? What is it? Why is it so hard?
I think a lot of people, if you have issues or anything, or like I was talking to people yesterday on a post, and the same post we're talking about the video, and a lot of people were saying they had opinions and stuff. And I brought them to the table. We talked about them in our chat and things. But a lot of people don't like baiting out. I'm one personally. I don't like baiting stuff out. Like you know, I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this or whatever. But for something that offends you, you just have to stand. We're not going to say this person done it. And it's not that you're baiting out or it's a subject that maybe we need to look at, and we're all busy at work and whatever, and we can tag, yo, Tanika, are you busy? Can you do this? Check that out. And if you find it offensive and it's personally offensive, rather than you getting hurt and leaving the circle or leaving a bad taste in your mouth and you just saying you don't like that person,
Or
let us know
all
and we
the
can
admin
try.
with the same brush.
Yeah, because every one of us is extremely different. Like, you may not like me, but these other guys are cool, or you may not like, you know, somebody else's opinion on it, you know, and
If you don't like me, you don't like yourself.
something like that. But no, like as I was saying yesterday, I was like, we are trying to improve everything. We are getting better at everything. Us as an admin are strong as ever. Like everyone we're discussing everything on how to make things progress and stuff. But we also need you guys' help too, because we can't always be in every post. As Lisa said, there's 1,000 posts a day, or 1,000 comments, or something easy. We can't control it all.
It's up to you guys. Have to take ownership.
So please try to help us. That's it. It's not that we're like, oh, whatever. You have to add us to make yourself look big. Just Lisa or this post. We'll check it out.
Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But then you give admin an opportunity to come back to the admin chat, have a conversation. Are we watching this? How are we moving? You know, like Lisa said, come in and take a lay of the land and see what pop. You know what I mean? You don't go into war without taking inventory of who you have and what you have. Like, you know, if you want us to be the vigilantes, the post-vigilante, then instead of sitting down, watching the house burn down and then saying, that was a horrible fire, you guys should have outed it. You know, like if you see something, say something. You don't have to snip. Yeah. Like it's just hop in the DM and say, yo, this post, you might want to keep an eye on it, and you're gone.
But Amanda has a good point. He says drama is a breeding ground. When people come to the circle, it's what did I miss, not what can I learn.
This is so sad.
It's true.
This is so sad.
If I post something educational, probably a handful of people will respond. Anything controversial, right? People respond in droves. I did a personality test so people could get to learn more about themselves, so that you could get to learn more about how you relate to the people in your community. Mm-hmm. I think maybe 20 people responded, and at the time we had about 3,000 members.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Which is fine.
Test. I learned a lot about myself that day.
It's fine.
That's fantastic.
I already knew that I was ISTP. Mm-hmm. But I did learn about how I relate to some other people in the circle, because there was not one other person who was ISTP. There were other people who were ISTJ, and it's like, oh, okay. And there was people who asked me, I don't think you're an introvert. People don't see me as an introvert. I'm very observant. I am an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm energized by people who are, I'm energized by people around me who are extroverted.
Mm-hmm. I've always been INFP, and then when I redid the test, I was always ENFP. Anyways, I did the test 10 years ago. Different test, but same labels.
Yeah.
And what I learned is that since the group, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, way back in the day, I used to post my personal development shit and I pulled back. It's not because I don't find it to be of value to me to post. I actually am an ambivert, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, this isn't going well. Let me pull back. Not that I wanted people to accolade me for it. I wanted people to engage and find some value in it and share what value they got from it for themselves.
Right.
And when I didn't see that, what I found is since this group, I've swung back to my INFP. I used to be ENFP. Now I'm more INFP. And I was glad you put that up because I hadn't done the personality test in a minute.
I've never done it. Lisa made me do it, and me and Jay got to see results. And I like to think the Big J is a lot cooler than me. He's a lot calmer. He's very, anything that's wrong, we're like, Big J, what are we doing? Why Big J? And I'm like, what? Me and him the same? Not in a bad sense, just I was shocked that we got to see results.
So, 1 second. I got you, Jules. I'll send you that link. The other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of mix-up, watch me now, people. You want me to show you my block list? How many people are on there?
Hey, not top box side soul.
No, I have 3 people blocked.
I don't have anybody on mine.
I have 3 people blocked. I have someone blocked who talks shit about my daughter because I was going to catch a charge.
I bailed her out. So
after I addressed her, she talked shit about my daughter. She called my daughter a certain word that is a trigger word for Black people. And I was going to drive to Michigan, and I was going to catch a charge.
Oh my God, girl.
So I blocked her. I have that woman.
Really happened in the circle?
No. I don't have a single soul from the circle blocked.
Me neither.
Not me.
Mark my words. Remember, I don't need to block people from the circle. That's where I'm going with this little thing, eh? Okay. So I have the woman from Michigan blocked. I have this crazy guy from Brazil who stole my pictures and pretended to be me. I have him blocked. A guy.
Are you serious?
Yes. made a profile on Facebook with some Hispanic name,
but it was your
Portuguese because Brazil. Anyway, but it was my pictures. He's blocked.
Good.
I have my ex-husband blocked. God ain't finished with me yet. Okay. I have my ex-husband blocked. Those are the 3 people that I have blocked on Facebook. That is it. I don't block people from the circle. Yeah. So if you talk shit about me, I'm going to see that you're talking shit about me. At me, baby. I will respond. And if you don't at me and I see it, I'll respond. Because I don't block people. Talk to me. You have a problem? Bring it on, baby. Bring it in. Let's hug it out. Let's talk it out. Let's hug it out. But I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to block you.
Women are afraid of that.
So you see what happens when you block people, Tanika? Because as you mentioned, women are like that.
I feel like, okay, I had a conversation today. Can I stick a pin?
I'm going to stick a pin because I'll remember where I was at.
Can I stick a pin?
Yeah.
Today I had
Yes.
Today I had a conversation with someone where I had to remind the person that we can throw blows and I'll stitch you up and feed you after. Because I don't take it personally. In my mind, it's intellectual ping pong. What I think happens in the circle a lot with the women is once they post a strong opinion and another woman challenges that strong opinion, it blows. But the blows are personal. Have you ever fought a fight in your feelings versus when you fought a fight strategically?
Yeah, I'm a different. I cannot take.
It's like a game of chess.
This is what I'm saying, and I feel like, and I'm going to done this quick so you guys, because I know myself. I feel like what Lisa was saying is, listen, let's talk it out. Let's hug it out. I feel like when you pull that card, it's not even a card. When you try to approach the solution that way, all of a sudden they don't know what to do because they weren't going into it looking for a solution anyway. So when you're like, yeah, babe, I still love you. Like, you know how much people felt friction with me, and then now they're like, oh, wait a second. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I look at you different. And I'm the same way. People who I took one way, when I go into it wanting to learn from them, I don't see them that way anymore.
Yeah.
Most women are intimidated by when you respond.
A lot of men are too.
When you respond with, I still love you. I can love getting to know you. I don't respect that about you, but I'm not going to paint all of you with the same brush. And I'm still willing to get to know more about you. They don't know what to do with that. And then comes the shade and the tea and the subliminals because they don't know how to fucking reason. Like, logic is broken.
It's true. A lot of people.
Like, it's like, where are you going to buy your logic? Are you going to Dollar Tree? Like, I'm sorry.
She said Dollar Tree.
I know.
I'm not even saying Dollarama.
Dollar
Dollarama's on the stock exchange, yo. Like, where are you going? Where are you shopping for your logic?
It's in the 2-for-1.
Is it in the 2-for-1 at the dollar store too?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's 50 cents each.
Just think, if you are that much put off by someone saying, yes, let's talk about this. Let's go. Let's do this because solution is the objective. Then that just tells you that you really weren't looking for a solution. You really weren't looking for common ground. You really weren't looking to learn anything. You wanted to tear down. And because she won't let you tear her down, now you don't like her. You know what I'm saying?
True,
like, how old are we?
Some people, including men, because I've seen a comment there that men are like that also. I also agree with men are like that. Mm-hmm. But the way it is some people go into a conversation. So say, for instance, last week, Dougie said something about Irish people. Well, you know what? I got a memory that lasts a long time. He makes a comment today. Yo, I'm wilding. Claws are out. Give a fuck. I'm in there hitting him with everything I can give him because 6 months ago he commented that something. We're like that. We remember things. Mm-hmm. Everybody does that, right? Mm-hmm. So you get people that are just waiting to pounce. And then sometimes you'll read it and you're like, what the hell?
Like, where's
it coming from?
And 6 months ago.
Yeah, but we're like that. Come on, I can be like that too. I'm the person that you can offend. I will say, I'm sorry, cool, do what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yo, when I'm quiet, if I'm fighting with you or arguing or whatever, if I don't argue with you, like, that's when you know, like, okay, she's mad as fuck. I go quiet. And some people are just like, oh, okay, so we're having this intellectual conversation about, is the word flat or round? That's just one conversation we'll have.
I love that.
Is it flat or is it round? Whatever. Mm-hmm. So if I don't agree with your opinion on whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Your fucking dog's ugly. Fuck your dog. It's ugly. No, but that's what people go because they don't have nothing else to say. Instead of being like, you know what? I understand your opinion. Nobody has visited the Antarctic, whatever it's called. It could be possibly flat. You were right. Cool. Go home, have your cup of tea, be like, whatever, conversation's over. Once you start hitting low blows, that stuff lasts for a week. Next thing you know, you're at Walmart and there's friggin' claws out, there's mayhem going on.
You've reached a different level.
You've owned
it. You've made it personal.
You have, and some people are like that. Like, some people are like, jab today, jab, 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 jab. And then as soon as someone says, yo, what's up with that? It's like World War III over the slightest little thing.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't block people. If that's what you need to do, block people. But just know that unless you're an admin, you can't see what people say.
We can still see you all.
But if you're not admin, when you block people, you can't see what people say. Yeah. You risk having
stuff said about you that you can't respond to.
Super drag fests that you don't know about unless somebody tells you.
I was feeling it.
So this week, I saw a little post. The post looked like it might become a drag fest, but because I didn't see...
It was Dragapalooza, guy. Fuck drag fest.
I didn't see anything... I didn't see anything direct with that act. I said, you know what? All right. These people need to have this conversation. No, the conversation turned into
Coachella.
more than that.
Coachella.
Right? Because, like, I don't want you to continue to be in posts throwing shade where you can't see each other's shade.
That's bullshit.
I really do want you to just hash it out, preferably in your DMs. But since you cannot do that, if you need to do it in the group, I would prefer you do it where you know,
unblock the person.
Message me and be like, yo, tell so-and-so to unblock me because me about to unload still. I don't know. I don't love the draggings where the person can't see it. And I'm not blaming anybody who's dragging where the person can't see it, because if you block somebody, that's kind of your fault.
But then just unblock them for the drag.
How are they supposed to know?
They don't know.
Unblock them for the drag. If you know you're ready to go in, like, listen, I don't want to tump up your back.
How are they supposed to know?
What joy do I get out of tumping up your back? Like, I'm trying to take out your teeth and all this shit. Like, I want face to face. I watched this movie, The Kingsman. It was the one where, the second one.
Yeah.
And the man with the one arm. And he said, okay, but I've always been a gentleman. So at the end of the day, when he had the man where he wanted, the man had one arm. And the man put his hand behind his back the whole entire fight to make it fair. And he could have beat him with two hands. But the guy he was beating had one hand. And he had his hand behind his back the whole entire time he done it.
I love that analogy.
Make it fair.
How are they supposed to know?
Make it fucking fair.
How are they supposed to know?
Unblock the people them.
How is she supposed to know?
Okay, it's like say we have drama and I block you because I won't listen to you, right? And then you go on a tangent and I'm over here willy dilly.
You're on one tangent. We're parallel dimensions.
But I blocked you.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like. But if we have beef, I would not be blocking you. I wouldn't be stalking you per se, but I'd be like watching this shit that you're throwing. I really wouldn't pay that much attention, to be honest, because I have too much shit on the
Keep your friends close,
but
keep your enemies
keep an eye on
closer.
them. But the thing is, it's like...
So then when your friend tells... You just have to... This is what I'm saying about my phone bill. Because when I close the screen... you guys are gone. When I close the screen, you're gone. That's it. Okay, I'm not responding anymore.
Back to regular life.
Okay, back to my real life.
Hi.
Back to my drink. Back to my meds.
John.
Okay, bye.
I just have to tell John. John asked me a quick question. John, I'll get to you just now. John Manicaros, we'll come to you. Stick around till the end. I'll tell you what happened to it.
John, I didn't start the back.
So if you have to block, I get it. I just don't think you should keep those blocks on for more than like a day. You have to climb up out your feelings and take the blocks off. Because it's a community. In real life,
you can't.
In real life,
not you can't. People.
No, you can't make your neighbor 3 doors down the hall move.
This is it.
You can't make your neighbor that you share a sidewalk and a freaking patch of lawn with. You can't make them move. You have to deal with that neighbor. If you don't like things that they say, if you don't like things that they do, you have to find a way to deal with it because you're an adult, and that's real life. Yeah. The cyber world gives people a false sense of security. Absolutely. Because if I don't like you, I can block you. Fuck that.
Can we bring this into
Fuck
the whole...
that. Fuck your feelings. Can we come out your feelings and stop fucking blocking people. No, can you stop blocking people though? Like for long-term blocking?
Anti-blocking. We say anti-blocking.
Are we set at me?
I love it. Can we talk about this? Because you're going down. Since we're housekeeping, let's clean off the baseboards, guys. The baseboards. Let's deal with the baseboards. So, what you were saying is we can't moderate real life. And there was a post in the same thread that went wild today.
I want to go to Orla's bar.
I'm saying,
can we do a circle like top the things at Orla's bar because she made this drink nice.
And isn't her bar the strip club though?
It is.
Okay.
I could do it with some titties.
Who wants to get, the last time I got a lap dance, you see? Oh my. But anyways, I'm just going to say that. And she was a Scotian thing too. But anyways, you brought up something about we can't moderate real life.
Yes.
And in the video post where Armageddon popped out, a lot of the initial frustration was, well, why was it taken down? Admin likes to police things. You can't admin my life, so why are you adminning my life here? And honestly, I get the frustration. As we explained today, why it came down, we have someone who is there was a miscommunication about what should come down, whether it be the subthread or the thing. Thank you, Lovey. So here's a question. So here's a question. To the people who want the admin team to police people's behaviors and to control people's behaviors, I would like to know that what in your mind tells you that is doable, that we can actually 100% control and bottle people's behaviors. I want to hear your take on this whole thing, because you started on the road of we can't police real life. And then we have a 50-50 split. Some people want law and order, some people want lawlessness and anarchy. Since you guys are the ones bringing your different sides to the table, let's hear from you. What's your blueprint? What's your business plan for the anarchy, and how will it work? And for the people who want 100% policing, let me hear your blueprint and your business plan for how the 100% policing works. Because if we please one, we're going to piss off the other, no matter where you slice it. So since we're on this topic of logical arguments and logical debates, let's hear about it. And the DM, come to the DM. Let's get the ideas in the DM so we can work it. I want to hear from you. Do you guys think I'm Raymond reaching? Am I Raymond?
No,
reaching?
I think, you know what?
Am I turning into Raymond?
No, I'm not.
Everybody loves Raymond?
Nobody loves Raymond in the circle.
Raymond Reach.
Don't pull your Raymond Reach stuff on me.
Cherry picker.
Yeah.
Are those my triceps coming back? But yeah. So Lisa, you started on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't police real life. So why do people want us to police? And first they want this, and then they want that, and then they want this, and then they want that, and either way we're the bad guy.
I'm all for setting boundaries. I
say let them fight.
I'm all for boundaries. There need to be boundaries. I don't like to see anybody talk about anybody's mother straight.
No,
for me, that is a boundary. Don't cross it.
Yeah.
Because
mother or kids.
And children. I don't want to see, or family, any of your family, but nobody really says anything about people's kids anymore. We had like a 1-2, but it hasn't happened very often in the circle.
Yeah.
I've seen a 1-2, but not often.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a 1-2 where people talk about people's partners, right? But most of what I see in the circle, go suck your no, I don't like. For me, red flag,
boundary.
Don't
you believe in yourself? Don't you believe in yourself?
I'm a mother.
You can come up with more?
I have a mother.
Hello.
What?
Every one of you has a mother. You don't talk. Listen, you know how many ways I can insult people and not talk about your mother or your children or your skin tone?
Could be bullied, Doug.
Do you know how many ways I can insult people? I will undress and address and downdress and post-dress and forward-dress people without talking about your mom or your race or your sexual orientation. Mm-hmm. Remember what we said? Thought-provoking? Mm-hmm. You must be able to do it, man.
For real.
You must be able. I don't love it.
If I'm talking with somebody and they argue with me, I just cut them off. I don't block them. I just cut the conversation. It's over. If it's gone left, the conversation's done.
I'm going to say as much as I think that I can say, and then I'm done. Once I feel like I'm exhausted.
If you're going to start insulting me or saying, a lot of people try to pull the race card on me, come on, man. Is that all you got? Right? It's just over at that point.
Doug said big man things. You know, see man in a blazer.
Hey!
We said big man things.
Right?
Yes. Big woman and big man things around here.
I had to do a double take when Snuggie came in the door today. I froze for a second.
I thought he was going to come.
I was
big man and big man things around here.
You said clean cuts. So, for real. So, Dougie, yeah.
Gigi.
But anyways, yeah. Dougie Block said he wants to hear more from you. You've been quiet for a while.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Let's get the Dougie notes, the Snuggie notes.
Who wants to hear from me?
Block.
I just said you.
Block Hugger wanted to hear from you.
You were talking too much. You were controlling you.
You have your balls, Dougie.
You didn't have to say that.
You have your balls.
That's Christ.
I have his balls in my purse.
I've
Well, I
seen
don't
some
get in-
balls in a vice grip today, but anyway.
I don't
But
get
yeah,
into
that's what I'm
conflict
telling
with people. Like,
It's
if
funny
it's,
people say that, but it's really there.
if we start conflicting and we can't have an educated conversation, then it's just useless. Like, what's it gonna do?
You know what,
So-
guys? It's okay sometimes to be like, "Oh, I took that up wrong. My bad."
I
said that.
did that today.
I did that too. I did that.
with-
I had a conversation with someone. Okay, the thing with me, guys, is I text must be harsh because a lot of people don't. Even with the admin too, they sometimes I think they don't understand what I'm trying to say.
That's
And
why
it's
I
like,
voice note the hell out of you
yeah,
guys.
I know. I'm like voice noted yesterday.
I know, I
It's like
lost
I'm not
it.
mad, but since like
Where is it?
But sometimes when I text or sometimes I write stuff, it comes
I
across
lost
as
it.
rude or mean or cold or whatever.
It's
So
right
last couple days I've been asking people, what do you mean by that or whatever, and it's not a big thing. And one of the guys, Etienne, I think his name is. I don't want to.
Etienne.
Yeah, right. Okay, I thought I said it right. Thank you. He said to me the other day, "Oh wow, someone from the circle apologized because I said my bad. I took you up wrong." And I was like, "Really? Is
He was
that
well
how bad we
frightened.
are? That someone's saying, oh, it's strange that someone apologized. It's okay to make you wrong."
Or-
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
You know, if you're like, I'm like, yes, for instance, yesterday there was a was that yesterday or today? I don't remember. Every
Days
day's
are
running into
blurring.
one. But I was talking with a few people and I was like,
Yes, Block, you can send a voice note because I have 4% battery and we'll soon wrap up.
Tell them to send it to me if your battery dies.
so I did say, sorry, I don't understand what you mean, rather
But
than
you
be
can't hear
like
me.
whiling on what they wrote because I can understand that. I was like, what do you mean? That's cool too. What are you guys on? Whatever.
I just told. I'm listening to you. Sorry.
They're not listening.
I
They're
am.
haters.
I have 2 ears. I got 4 kids. Yo, I can.
Haters.
We
Yo,
love
when
you,
the twins
Orla.
when the twins start talking to me at the same time,
Not
I
coming
literally
next week.
become 2 people. Stop the fuckery. Listen, I can tell you exactly what you said. I can tell you exactly what she said. Etienne said he was so surprised to see that somebody can take accountability.
Yeah.
He was really surprised by that because he doesn't see it often. And Orla was saying, like, you're the kind of person that she's the kind of person who can say, hey, you know what, I picked that up wrong, and and you're
But that's
open to
normal.
learning.
If I don't
We
understand
could
what
be
you
friends
say,
in school because you would be able to crack jokes with me
Hello.
and still remember what the teacher said.
Thank
Lisa,
you.
Lisa,
I was that kid who had 96 in biology, and I was
too.
pure fuckery.
Lisa was earlier. I was talking to her like, she's not listening. And she had to answer. I'm like, dude, we're doing 4 things at once there. How did you pick up on what I was saying?
Thank you.
Because I'm listening. I'm multitasking, but I'm listening.
I have
So-
to let the
Sorry,
hear
that
and
was
I
from
hear what I
Block
want.
that I just
All right.
sent you.
Block just sent a voice note. So I think what I was saying was, I can't even remember what the fuck we were laughing at, but it was some stupid shit that I did wrong. No, I said something stupid. Okay, let me get the voice note.
Thank you, Block.
Can you tell the chemistry is real with the team? Okay, wait, where's the speaker gone? Okay. Oh, the joke was,
I have my charger, Nathaniel.
The joke-
I'm just not close to a plug.
the joke was that I was saying,
that kind of plug.
the joke was that I was saying, tell Block that I'm gonna message him later, but I forgot I was live. Like, Block can't hear me, so I'm telling Lisa to tell Block, and meanwhile Block is waiting for me to tell him. That's the joke. So here comes Block Hugga. Is my baby on?
You're right. Latoya said stop liking the post when people are being disrespectful. People
Hello.
are doing it for likes. You're right.
True.
It's quick maths. Okay. Here we have Block Hugga.
So how come you guys don't talk about the Baby Mama Brigade, BMB, and how when one girl or girl gets into a conflict, you have like 10 girls jumping on the bandwagon, throwing their words, and they ain't got no problem with the dude, but just because their girl got a problem, they jump in. Is this gang war? Like, I don't understand it. Like, if it's one person's conflict, why you got 6, 7 other people chiming in like they got a problem with the individual made the comment when it's really just one-on-one? Like,
Feelings.
yeah, how come you guys don't bring that up? How come that's not an issue?
For once, I have a very short answer.
I was legit coughing.
How?
It's a group. Personal conversations happen in DMs. Everything else is open to group input.
But you're gonna have to unpack that though, because that just flew over half the people's head. I know where you're going.
Yeah, I get it.
I know where she's
I know
going
where
to.
you're going, but you know you
I don't want to talk too much. Coming on some talk. No.
No man, talk up, please. They're tired of me already. Lisa, please do me a beg.
No, go on.
No man, I beg you. Unpack it for
So-
them.
This is what happens. If somebody posts something about martial arts, and there's a conversation going about martial arts, all the martial artists are going to have things to comment about their knowledge of martial arts.
I get knowledge.
They might talk about how much they enjoy it. They might talk about their skill level. They might talk about their accomplishments. They might talk about technique, because there's a commonality.
Thanks.
If there's a post about football, all the football fans are going to talk about it. Tiziana, you're there. I'm so excited for Sunday. Okay, I'm not excited to get up and have to be at the bus for 6:45, but I'm going to a Pats game, y'all.
I'm cheering for Buffalo Bills.
Hi.
It's
I'm
my
a Pats
first
fan.
Pats game, y'all.
Hi. Have fun.
But if people talk about football fans, or anybody who's watched anything controversial with football, like the Colin Kaepernick business, you're going to have something to say.
Yeah.
So it might not be your conversation, it might not be your conflict, but because of your commonality, you have something to say.
Right.
You may have no commonality whatsoever and just might be entertained. You might just feel enough. You might just be bored. And you have something that you contribute. Because
but that's
it's
the
a
reality.
group.
We've all had those days where
It's
you're
a
like, yo, I mean to eggs up today.
I mean, it's eggs up.
And we just do it. Like, we're all guilty of it.
Yes. Enough time needs to eggs up. I'm not going to lie. Enough time needs to eggs up. I'll just jump in just to jump in. I want to hold my place so you might see my lion.
Hold on, I'm giving Dougie a translation. Eggs up. Who wants to take this?
No.
Who wants to give Dougie a definition of eggs up?
Send Tony, where's your wife?
Tony?
Your future wife.
She commented earlier that you look cute. Maybe not
Tony,
right now.
Tony, I only look good in winter colors. Do you know winter colors aren't necessarily white and blue? Do you know what I mean by winter colors? There's summer colors, winter, fall.
Winter's
so
more like the blood red colors, the oranges,
yes.
the kind of navies, and
yes.
the dark beiges.
You knew what I was talking.
Tony's in somebody else's DM right now.
Yes. I look good in winter colors. So for bridesmaids, because me and Dougie good up.
We're all bridesmaids.
Just try include me in your bridesmaids party, yeah?
I don't mind being a groom's woman, but you know, I'm down.
I'm down for that.
As long as we can get drunk. As long as it's an open bar.
Open bar is a must in the first circle wedding. I'm calling it for you, Tony. I'm calling. Dougie's a good man, you know.
Yeah, man. Tony, can you come to our next meetup just so we can meet you and try to hook you up?
Right. Circle love connection on one.
Right.
We're like the crazy three sisters.
This is it. Well,
so sorry, Block. That was a bit of a digression.
But yeah. So Block, why is it that the women just running?
The baby mother brigade. Big up on herself. I'm one of you guys.
So you're saying
I just don't join the mob all the time, but I am one.
That's the key word I was saying. So you're saying it's a mob mentality.
It is a mob.
And I agree with you 1,000%. You know how many shit that I can say the person commented and I agree with so much and no more, and I won't run in because I can't wholeheartedly co-sign. If I can't wholeheartedly co-sign, you will not see me on that thing.
Thank you.
If it's not a 100%, yo, you took the words out of my mouth, get out of my head, what I will say is, yo, I rate that you said that. Or, you know, paraphrasing myself, I'll be like, never saw it that way. I'll speak to what spoke to me. But this whole run-in business, yo, you don't think Lisa and I disagree? I know everybody says we share a brain. You don't think we disagree? You don't think I disagree with my team? You don't think we all have different perspectives? But I don't go into when I realized that I resonate with something one of my team is saying. There's many times where in the past something one of my team is saying, I'm like, yo, I resonate with this much, but not 100%. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let them continue to expand what they're saying until I can agree with more. And when they say more, and I'm like, yo, but now that I do agree 100%, and then I come in and say what I agree with. Yeah. And I'll also say what I'm challenging you on.
Yes.
And that's why I think what Block is saying is the whole brigade business. I don't think there's a such thing as if I have one opinion, 10 people 100% agree with everything I say, and I don't realistically expect them all to just run in and start firing shots on my behalf. I'm going to look at you as a hypocrite. I will not really take you as a serious friend if you agree with everything I say. I can't
Why
value
not?
you. Why? Because then I think
Why
you're a
you
parent.
lying?
Then I think you're a fucking avatar.
You're a follower.
Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell me anything you think I want to hear. Meanwhile, you don't agree. It's not humanly possible. I don't want people who are gonna co-sign me. I want you to challenge me. I want you to tell me what you agree, what aligns with you, and I want you to tell you where the alignment is off. Because the whole thing that I'm after is, if I'm going to interact with you, I have to be able to know where we were able to come down the middle. And even if I never interact with you again, me and you have a bond, because at the end of the day, I see you where I see you. Namaste. I see you where I see you. And if we don't interact again, move on. So I get why the men are frustrated with the whole run-in business, because you cannot tell me that all the brigade 100% agrees with everything that the first dissenter of the brigade post says.
However, you guys
Like,
could
it's
go
not
start
possible.
the
Am
second
I reaching? It's
Well,
not
true.
possible.
I believe you that they don't agree, but for sake of fitting in and appeasing their peers,
But that's
for
what you're saying.
sake of joining the hype.
But that's what you're saying. And what I'm saying, if somebody were to do that to my post,
My phone died.
or if someone called out TK and TK made her thing and everybody ran in and started defending TK, I'd walk wide at you. Because I'd be like, all of you agree with me? I'd be like, I can get that you agree with some points, but now I feel like you're flattering me, and I don't really take flattery. Flattery is not a compliment to me.
But there's no dialogue then. Because
Thank
we're
you.
not
Who's
all cut
challenging
the
me?
same. We're not all cut the same.
Who's challenging
Tanika
me?
and I will agree,
Who's challenging me?
but we'll agree about different things on the same topic.
I actually
You know what I
challenge
mean?
people to change my perspective.
I
For
know
sure.
You do that all the
For
time.
sure you
do.
Dougie always says, if I'm closed-minded and I don't know, I want you to tell me and I want you to show me. And nobody answers him.
Yeah.
But then you guys want to call. I
Anyway,
don't understand.
I'm down to 2%, y'all.
I died.
Next week is going to be our last week
For 2017.
for now. We're taking a 2-week break,
2 weeks.
and then we're doing our 2017 wrap-up. Remember?
True.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
be
you're
here.
right. You're
We're
right.
doing a 2017 wrap-up.
Yeah.
Orla's going to be away in Ireland. We're going to miss her very much.
But she's
I
going
know
to
I'm
take
going
us
to
with
come.
her.
Come. You guys want to come
Why?
to
Take
Ireland
us with her.
The next time we see you after next week will be
2018.
the last time for the year, y'all. Like,
I can't wait.
it's been a hell of a ride with the circle for 2017. Uno,
Yeah.
big up yourself.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just to think we're coming in on 1 year.
I know. It's crazy.
Enough groups don't survive 6 months.
2017 flew like
It was a quick thing.
whoa. But the growth that
always
we've
grew.
done, the growth that we've done as a group and as a people,
It's
I
wild.
learned from you. I hope you
Wow.
learn from us.
Yeah.
We grew,
I've
we
learned a lot,
trimmed the
actually.
fat.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And that's the thing,
So-
like, as much as it's bewildering for you all, when you look at your phone, you see 2,500
Nobody
members.
was forced
Something
to do
happens
that.
in your life because life is life, and you come back and you're like, yo, 3,500 members. Something else happens, you're like, ratted, 4,500.
Yo.
As much as it's mind-boggling for you, do you guys remember Tilt-A-Whirl when the fair used to come to Cedar Brae Mall? You don't think it's mind-boggling for us? Thank you
Yeah.
so much for bearing with us.
Yeah, thank you for the
We
support, guys.
appreciate it, man.
I'm
Fuck, you guys
turning
don't
back
know.
on Pettyville post, okay?
Okay.
I know you guys, I know some of you know what I'm talking about. As we speak, I'm turning Pettyville back on
Feel free to
Okay.
tag us, you know.
because I do encourage healthy conflict resolution. I hope that everybody that's involved works it out.
And grow up.
I
I
have
really
something
don't
say
want to see
before we
that
go.
situation drag on and on and on.
No.
Because if it does drag on, we're just going to be deleting on site.
And can I just tell you, here comes the whole ethereal. Mercury's in retrograde and a super full moon.
I don't know what that means.
Just means that communication
Communication.
is
Okay.
off.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what you need to know that when you go into a transaction with the intention to correct, know what you're going to say, know why you want to say it, know the outcome, know if the outcome is going to benefit you next week when Mercury is ready to start turning back. So
Thank you guys for
Understand.
tuning in.
I have one thing to say.
Understanding.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys. One thing to say. So,
Mhm.
I did do a post this week to say that anyone with businesses,
Oh,
services,
thanks.
products,
Oh, yes.
anything to provide, please send me a DM. We are revamping a certain feature that we have, and I want all business owners, service
Oh.
people, whether you do the Avon or whether you do
Anything.
Scentsy or whether you're a mechanic or whether you make cakes or whether you do eyebrows or you're
anything.
anything, please send me a DM and we'll take it from there. Stephen, thank you. So far, I've had a great amount of people in my DM, and I appreciate everybody. I've got back to most people, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
Yeah, man, Tingz I got low just now. Don't be shy. If you're new to your business and you're just feeling like, oh, no one's going to take me seriously, it doesn't matter.
We got
Find
4,000
Orla.
people.
We have so much.
Oh, yeah,
in store for
my
you.
name's Orla. It's spelled really bizarre. Just go into that weird admins. I'm the one with the name you come from. That's me.
Yes.
Or my
Shout out to
CCs,
Orla.
guys. They'll send it up.
Shout out to Orla. Snuggie?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you guys, practice this week. It's when you're arguing with somebody or having conflict with them, instead of trying to, I've talked about this before, but instead of trying to think of a comeback of what to say, think of, like, try to understand where they're coming from, right? And if both of you are doing that, then you'll come to a resolution.
Absolutely.
A healthy resolution.
So you got 2 ears
Not
in
like,
your mouth.
go suck your mother shit.
No,
right?
I hate that. Honestly, guys.
You know what I mean? Like, so just try to understand the other person, where they're coming from. And it takes practice. I wasn't always like that. I was always, when I argued with somebody, I'd be like trying to think whatever they were saying to me. I was just trying to think of a comeback of what I could say. But now when I argue with somebody or someone's telling me something, I'm always trying to take it in to understand what they're trying to tell me.
But that tells me, and this will be my soul tip of the week, that tells me that if someone's capable of listening to respond, then their brain can take in and generate output at the same time. So that means you have the ability. You're wired and you have the mechanics to be able to take in double the amount. Because if you can take in half and try and be outputting half at the same time, it means you have the volume, you have the space to take in more. So that tells me we're built more to listen. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can generate input and output at the same time, try just shifting it 2 degrees to the left and see how much more you can take in, and you might be surprised how much more that tips the scale for you.
Like sometimes people will say stuff and I'll be like, oh, I never looked at it in that lens before, that light before, right?
It's like a eureka.
Right.
Next week when Big J is back, we're going to talk about the other part of our relationship series.
Oh, yes.
Marriage.
Also, John, I just saw your message.
Sorry, Doug.
Sorry,
Are we finished?
Yeah.
No, just one more thing. I'm sure you guys have all heard this from your mothers before. You got 2 of these and 1 of these.
True. So, Dougie, we need you next week, though, because when we touch on marriage, we're going to have 3 divorcees.
I'm extremely happily divorced.
And it's nice to have a male divorcee as much as it is to have a female divorcee.
Yeah.
So
and we'll have a male who's still in marriage.
And he's still madly in love. They got a great marriage.
Which is awesome. So we're going to have a bunch of experienced people to talk about the next phase of relationships, which is legal commitments.
Yes.
And
versus
informal. Right. So
and why don't you guys start sending in your questions from now?
Send them now.
So,
if there's like a thing you specifically want to hear about, send it. Yeah.
So we know.
Also,
send it to any of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't gotten any DMs about voice notes before we close off. Mm-hmm. So.
One last thing for me. John, I saw your message about the whiskey. Next circle event, you better be there to try whatever whiskey I bring back.
And John, about the book club. The book club started. We drew a book title. Nobody wanted to read the book.
I didn't read the first book.
I commented too.
I bought it. I didn't read it.
And then the book club tried to revive, and nobody read the book. There's only so much that I can pilot. I am one person. I offered, and in fact, when I was respectful enough of the people to say I cannot do all of it, I had a few authors who approached me at the time who were willing to subject matter expert the book club. And they had different obligations in their life. They had personal family issues. They had family passings. They had births, all these other things in their life to where they couldn't continue to carry the mantle of being the subject matter expert of the book club. So if anybody wants to step up and they have the time and they're able to, I would love to start it back. I would love it. And the poetry club, like nobody took up that mantle.
Ayana, I saw your comment about endorsing a day.
People aren't Interesting.
I saw your comments about endorsing a day for reading, like how we have Freaky Fridays. We could have something like Reading Wednesday or something like that. So I saw your comment. We're going to talk about it as a team and get back to it.
Yeah,
so just want to
I still have
thank
the
everybody for coming out.
Did everybody finish?
We gotta go.
The Room?
Yeah.
We gotta go.
No, before I read The Room. The one
Okay.
before that. No, the one after that. The Da Vinci Code.
The Room was boring.
I
Sorry.
read it.
I didn't like it.
It disturbed me a little, but you've seen it from a kid's point of view. But as an
The Room
adult,
is better.
you
Yeah.
had that.
Anyway, thank y'all for coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Week
Love
14
you.
next
Love
week.
you.
We'll see you
Oh, wait, I
one
have
more
a
week
song
before
for
the
you.
break.
I hope you guys like
Love you
Belfast.
guys.
I'm going to take you to show it.
Okay. Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
So thank y'all for coming out.
Good night, guys.
So
We don't have any music this week because I forgot and nobody has sent me anything. I've always have to chase you down.
love y'all.
How y'all say you're artists and have to chase you down for your music?
Yeah.
Next week I want circle music for our last
Talk
week
about Tingz.
before we do our wrap up. Please
But
and
circle
thank
music
you.
Yeah, Bianca, where's my
Gotta be
mixtape?
circle
I know,
music.
Bianca, I
That's
wanted
summer
to.
Bianca came through already. I want
No, but
more
we
people
want-
to
I
come
know,
through.
but I
I'm
want the
gonna start.
mixtape for my car.
Oh, and by the way, when you send us the music, just go
CD.
ahead and let us know. Hey, by the way, can you please play my song on Top the Tingz? Go ahead and send that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
guys.
Just let us know so we know it's not just we like your music. Hey, that artist is wicked. Yay. Let us know if that's what you want.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
See you
guys.
another
Good night.
time.
All right, bye.